Welcome back, Vane, from Lafayette, not Louisiana, Colorado, right?
You betcha, right?
This is a part of our leadership series, this specifically the board perspectives. But you have an interesting story. You had told me you joined John Deere way back as an intern, and quote unquote, you learned a ton about leadership roles, large corporate experience, which I think is important, core values, how to be consistently successful. So, what can a young leader, which we got lots of good ones these days, do and plan for in the growth of their career, but also for future board opportunities?
Well, it's interesting. Not that my exam perfect one, but I had the opportunity of working for not only John Deere right out of college. I was a engineer at Purdue when I was a young kid. I had a fondness for the brand of Deere and worked on a farm with my family. So it was a natural for me to take advantage of my interest in mechanical things and leverage my engineering background from Purdue to go to work for John Deere. What I found when I got there was more than just a great brand and a great equipment, but really an amazing culture and core values. I mean, John Deere has an amazing record of retaining top talent, great folks that they're able to recruit because of their capabilities and their growth and the brand they have, and be able to keep those employees for a long time. So what I learned from that was just kind of team orientation, project management, accountability. They did a lot with training. The hiring process was very extensive. I had the fortune of being an intern, as you mentioned, and so as a debriefing as I was leaving the summer internship, I got to talk with several of the high-level execs in the company to see if it was a good fit coming back full-time. So, the fact that they invested in that program for internship really allowed them to get exposure to some folks like myself, and for me to get exposure to a great company. Raychem is another type of environment. It's now part of Tyco, but Raychem was another kind of turning point in my career as a billion-dollar company that had outstanding leadership and culture. And so, as you think about up-and-coming managers and leaders, as you mentioned, I find it very important. It's hard to be an entrepreneur and know what to do if you haven't been in a bigger company and see what best practices around communication and
Right.
accountability and training and hiring, what they're all about. I mean, there's certainly many examples of people that have been wildly successful, the Zuckerbergs and the Bill Gates of the world that get out of college and all of a sudden have a billion-dollar plus company. But those guys, are rare birds, and I think the average leader like myself needs to have exposure to different types of, bigger companies where there's a lot of smart, talented executives that you can learn from, and then at that point, once you've got that under your belt, you can go to a smaller company or startup and bring a lot of those skills with you. It's hard to learn those on the job if you haven't had exposure to them, and if you're in a small company that doesn't have that kind of leadership and those kind of that kind of infrastructure, if you will. So, from a board perspective and getting on a board, I find that having deep knowledge in a certain market expertise or industry really makes a difference. But at the end of the day, having some kind of C-level experience really makes a difference, and typically what boards are looking for. Unless you're going into a small entrepreneurial company and potentially being a major investor or a significant investor, then they're looking possibly for your expertise in a marketplace, and the C-level background isn't required. But in my experience of serving on 5 or 6 boards, it's been they're looking for A, am I, or B, if it's a bigger, look like skill set transferable and helpful for that company.
Right. And then just to compliment what years ago, yeah, I'm going to be a partner, start acting.
Exactly.
Apply to board roles called disrupt you. A fellow that's become Jason about visualization to being who you. That relates to what you were saying about mentorship. So great points. Thanks so much.